Good evening aspirants, welcome to Daily News Analysis brought to you by Shankar IAS Academy. Today's date is 6th May 2024. Displayed here are the list of topics we are going to see today. Now let us get into the discussion. Look at this 2017 prelims question. From ecological point of view, which one of the following assumes importance in being a good link between Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats? Before we get to answer, let's analyze the given options first. Firstly, about Nallamala Forest. It is located in Kurnool district of Andhra Pradesh. Nallamala Forest is a part of Nagarjuna Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve, which is located in Eastern Ghats. Amrabat Tiger Reserve, which is also located in Nallamala Forest. This forest is famous for tigers, wild dogs and jungle cats. Then moving on to see the Nagarhole National Park. It is located in Kodagu district and Mysore district of Karnataka. It is also called Rajiv Gandhi National Park. It is a part of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve and Bandipur National Park and Mudumalai Wildlife Sanctuary. It serves as a protected habitat for elephant and tigers. Then about Seshachalam Biosphere Reserve. It is located in southern region of Andhra Pradesh in Eastern Ghats. This Biosphere Reserve is a habitat of famous red sanders and slender loris species. Now coming to Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. It is located in Erode district of Tamil Nadu and is part of Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Satyamangalam Forest Range is an important wildlife corridor in Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve. It is a genetic link between 4 other protected areas, that is Beligiri Rangaswamy Wildlife Sanctuary, Sigur Plateau, Mudumalai National Park, Bandipur National Park. So it serves as a link between all these 4 reserved areas. It is also a part of Project Tiger and protecting populations of tiger and reducing trafficking of tigers. So as per our discussion, the correct answer is Satyamangalam Forest. Look at this 2017 prelims question. Which of the following statements is correct regarding the Monetary Policy Committee? It decides the RBI's benchmark rates. It is a 12-member body including Governor of RBI and it is reconstituted every year. It functions under chairmanship of Union Finance Minister. Let's revise about Monetary Policy Committee and come back to this question. See, the Monetary Policy Committee was constituted by central government under RBI Act 1934. It is basically a committee of RBI and responsible for deciding the benchmark policy rates like repo rate, reverse repo rate, and it also aims to achieve inflation targets. Note that MPC is assisted by RBI's Monetary Policy Department. Now talking about the composition of MPC, it consists of 6 members. Out of 6 members, 3 members are from RBI and remaining 3 members are from Indian government. The members from RBI side include RBI Governor, Deputy Governor in charge of monetary policy and an official nominated by RBI board. So these are the 3 members from RBI side. Then the 3 members from government side are appointed by central government and they are appointed based on the recommendation of Search-cum-Selection Committee. This selection committee consists of Cabinet Secretary, RBI Governor, Secretary of Department of Economic Affairs and 3 experts in economics. Note that RBI Governor is a ex officio chairperson of Monetary Policy Committee. Now coming to the functions of Monetary Policy Committee. The main function of MPC is to maintain price stability and to achieve inflation targets set by government. The primary goal of the committee is also to maintain the inflation targets between 4% plus or minus 2%. Note that the decisions in MPC are taken based on majority vote. If there is a tie, RBI Governor has a casting vote. So at some times the vote of RBI Governor will be the deciding factor. Also note that the recommendations of MPC are binding on RBI. So RBI has to implement the recommendations of MPC. With this understanding, let us go back to the question. Here the second statement is incorrect. It is not a 12-member body, rather it is a 6-member body. Now look at the third statement, it is also incorrect. It is headed by RBI Governor and not by the Finance Minister. So the correct answer is option A, 1 only. With this, let us conclude the discussion and move to the news articles. Now look at this article from Science page. It talks about the lightning which occurs at Catatumbo. So let's break down this article and understand them for our prelims exam. See, Catatumbo lightning is an extraordinary meteorological phenomena both for its intensity and its regular occurrence. Now where it occurs? See, it occurs at the point where Catatumbo River meets the Lake Maracaibo in Peninsula. Have a look at this map. Lake Maracaibo is enclosed by mountains on 3 sides, creating a unique topographical funnel where the air masses converge. So this is in between Colombia and Peninsula. The primary factor driving this phenomena is the movement of warm, moist air from Caribbean Sea towards the lake. This warm air meets the cooler mountain air from the Andes. The Andes mountain acts as a barrier that forces the warm air rise upwards, a process known as orographic lifting. Here the orographic lifting is shown in the image. Have a look at it. The rapid rising of warm air leads to cooling and condensation, forming large cumulonimbus clouds. These clouds can reach the heights of up to 5 kilometers and are the main engine for thunderstorms. This buildup of electric charges eventually find release in the form of lightning. So in this Catatumbo area, high frequency and intensity of lightning is observed. It typically occurs for about 140 to 160 nights each year, mainly between April and November. During these episodes, lightning can strike up to 28 times per minute. So each lightning storm can last for up to 10 hours, providing almost continuous lightnings in this area. And know that this lightning phenomena is locally known as the Lighthouse of Maracaibo. So these are the important points regarding the lightning article. With this, let us move on to the next news article. Look at this article from Science page. This is from yesterday's newspaper. This article talks about Nitroplast. So in this news article discussion, let us learn few facts about Nitroplast from prelims exam perspective. As you all know, nitrogen is a key compound in proteins and DNA of all living organisms. Although nitrogen gas makes up about 78% of Earth's atmosphere by volume, plants and animals lack a system that can utilize this atmospheric nitrogen. Bacteria and archaea help convert atmospheric nitrogen gas to ammonia by nitrogen fixation to make this nitrogen usable for plants. Both bacteria and archaea are prokaryotes. This means their cell lack a nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles. However, the nitroplast, which is found in the algae Barodospira bigelovi, is considered the first nitrogen-fixing organelle in eukaryotes. It evolved from a symbiotic relationship between algae and a bacterium called UCYNA around 100 million years ago. A recent study by scientists demonstrates that the nitroplast meets the criteria for organelle. This discovery has revolutionary implication, especially in agriculture. If this is successfully engineered and integrated into plant cells, nitroplast could potentially enable plants to fix nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. This can reduce the use of synthetic fertilizers and minimizing the environmental impact associated with the producing fertilizers. However, despite the potential benefits, there are significant challenges associated with nitroplast. The process would require precise genetic manipulation to introduce nitroplast into the plant cells. Furthermore, there are regulatory, ethical and practical considerations that need to be addressed before widespread adoption of nitroplast. So in summary, while the discovery of nitroplast opens up exciting possibilities for agricultural innovation, the practical implementation of technology is likely to be complex and challenging. So with this, let us conclude the discussion and move to the next topic. Look at this article. It talks about model code of conduct which are breached by political personalities during election campaigns. So with this backdrop, let us analyze a mains question with our usual answer writing approach. Now look at the question. Analyze the limitations faced by model code of conduct in the digital age of political advertisement. This topic comes under GS paper 2. See, it is a straightforward question. Here we have to introduce about model code of conduct in our introduction. Then in the body part of the answer, we have to address the limitation due to digitalization. And we have to summarize with a way forward in the conclusion part. So this is how we are going to approach this question. Now let us start with the introduction. Model code of conduct is a set of guidelines issued by Election Commission that political parties have to follow while campaigning during elections. Earlier, Election Commission held tight reins on election time propaganda. But today, the effective implementation of model code of conduct is facing challenges in digital era and the explosion of our various types of multimedia. Now moving on to see the body part of the answer. Here we are going to explain the limitations faced by model code of conduct in the digital age. Firstly, the impact of algorithmic bias. Algorithms used by digital platforms to curate content can amplify the spread of polarizing and sensationalist political advertisements. These algorithms prioritize engagement metrics such as likes, shares and comments, incentivizing the dissemination of provocative content. Research by scholars at MIT found that the evidence of algorithmic bias favoring sensationalist political content on social media platforms. Next, about the influence of dark ads. Dark ads refers to targeted political advertisements that are only visible to specific group of users. So this makes them difficult to track and regulate. Political parties can micro-target voters based on demographics, interest and online behavior, which can bypass MCC regulations. The lack of transparency regarding the content and targeting criteria of dark ads undermines the integrity of electoral process. Then we can talk about the blurring of distinction between private and public. See, social media has blurred the distinction between private and public. The new age tools like webcasting, making election campaign related stuff go viral, bringing in celebrities, influencers have made implementation of MCC a complex task. Then about accessibility. The exponential growth of digital communication in India and being non-regulated social media due to concerns over freedom of speech, free internet, the challenge posed by social media, these are very significant for Election Commission. Election Commission lacks resources as well as surveillance capacity to implement and punish the violation of Model Code of Conduct in this digital age. Then coming to the jurisdiction issues. See, digital companies like Facebook are run by companies located overseas. Holding them accountable has been difficult for Indian agencies. Election Commission will face similar challenge in preventing MCC violations. Then we can also mention about fake news. Digital media is a potent source of unverified and deliberate fake news. The way to solve the problem is for Election Commission to impose a heavy fine per view of ad. Election Commission needs to create a clear set of rules and stipulate fines for fake news. A study conducted by Oxford Internet Institute found that nearly 1/5 of political content shared on social media in India during elections was misinformation. Having completed the body part, now let us see the conclusion. The digital age has presented unprecedented challenges for regulating political advertisements in India. The limitations of Model Code of Conduct, including the rapid proliferation of digital platforms, lack of transparency, enforcement difficulties, spread of misinformation, algorithmic bias, and influence of dark ads hinder the effectiveness of implementation of Model Code of Conduct. Addressing these limitations require collaboration between Election Commission, digital platform, civil society organization, and policy makers in order to uphold the integrity of India's electoral process. So in this way, we can conclude the answer. Now let us move to the next topic. Look at this article from Sunday newspaper. This article states that National Company Law Tribunal saw a 43% increase in resolved insolvency cases passed this year. This indicates a significant progress in handling corporate debt issues in India. Along with this, the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India is also considering to include mediation in insolvency process. So this is the crux of the news article given here. In this context, let us revise about NCLT for our upcoming prelims exam. Now what is NCLT? It stands for National Company Law Tribunal, which is a quasi-judicial body that adjudicates issues related to companies in India. Know that it is not a full-fledged court but functions under the jurisdiction prescribed by Companies Act 2013. It is a quasi-judicial body and it has authority to make legal decisions and judgments regarding corporate disputes. Note that NCLT was established on 2016 under Companies Act 2013. It was created following the recommendations of V. Balakrishna Yaradi Committee. Now let us see the composition. It consists of a president and a mix of judicial and technical members. The number of members is decided based on the workload and the requirements. The president is the head of the tribunal and the members are appointed based on their expertise in legal and technical field. Now coming to the powers and functions of NCLT. It is not bound strictly by the rules of Code of Civil Procedure. Instead, it operates under the principles of natural justice, allowing it more flexibility in how it conducts proceedings. Similar to a court, NCLT has power to enforce its orders. This means that it can ensure compliance with its decisions using similar enforcement mechanisms, same as the court. The NCLT has authority to review its own orders, providing a mechanism to rectify any mistakes. NCLT has autonomy to regulate its own procedures. This allows it to streamline process and to introduce new procedures to better handle the cases. Lastly, let us see the role of NCLT in insolvency and bankruptcy. See, under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016, NCLT serves as adjudicating authority for corporate insolvency proceedings. This role involves overseeing the process of resolving insolvency issues for companies and limited liability partnership. The establishment of NCLT was a significant reform in handling corporate governance and insolvency matters in India. By centralizing the jurisdiction of various corporate matters that were previously scattered across multiple forums, NCLT has streamlined the legal landscape and reduced the complexity. So this is all about NCLT. In this discussion, we have seen what is NCLT, what are the powers and function, and what is its role in insolvency and bankruptcy. Now we have come to the prelims practice question discussions. Look at the first question. Lake Maracaibo, which was seen in the news, is located in which of the following countries? The correct answer is option B, Venezuela. Now look at the second question. Consider the following statements about National Company Law Tribunal. NCLT is a judicial body that solely adjudicates matters under Code of Civil Procedure. It was established based on the recommendations of V. Balakrishna Yaradi Committee. NCLT operates under principles of natural justice and is not strictly bound by procedural codes that govern regular courts. Under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of 2016, NCLT serves as adjudicating authority for corporate insolvency proceedings. The first statement is incorrect. NCLT does not solely adjudicate the matters under Code of Civil Procedure. All the three statements are correct. So the correct answer is option C. Only 2, 3, 4 are correct. Now look at the third question. What is the significance of nitroplast in cellular biology and agriculture? The correct answer is option D. As we have seen in the discussion, nitroplast is a nitrogen fixing organelle that was recently discovered in eukaryotic cells. So it is the first known organelle in a eukaryotic cell and it is capable of fixing nitrogen from atmosphere. With this, we have come to the end of the discussion. If you like the video, please share it with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy YouTube channel. Thank you.